Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to CMA Final Indirect Taxes Batch SAFAL in 100% English. In the comment section, quickly give me a thumbs up that the audio, video, everything is fine. We are live. What's your name? Where are you from? Is the stream fine? Tell me quickly, guys. Are we live? Audio, video, all okay? Yes, ma'am. So, welcome to CMA Final IDT Batch SAFAL. SAFAL means success. The batch which is relevant for students appearing in May 25, November 25 onwards examination. So before we begin, something about myself, about the batch, about the subject, about how we are going to proceed further, what is the syllabus and the batch all about. Hi guys, my name is CA Riddhi Bagmar. I qualified Chartered Accountancy in May 2022. I have also cleared my all 3 levels of CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. I have also done my BCom from Gujarat University with all Gujarat rank 3 and a gold medal. Yes, so that's all about me. This is my third batch in Hindi in English that I'm taking, and I've already taken 5 batches in Hindi. So the third batch for 100% English students and my 5th attempt, I would say, for Hindi batches. Yes, guys. Hello. So I can see everyone active here in the comment section. Chalo. This was all about me. You will of course get to know more about me as we proceed with the batch further. Let us not discuss that and straight away come forward to what is the batch all about and the subject all about. So the batch duration is approximately 110 hours. So in 110 hours, we are going to cover 100% of the syllabus. Ma'am, what do you mean by 100% of the syllabus? It covers GST plus customs plus foreign trade policy. Now talking from CA point of view, Chartered Accountancy course students that have taken the batch. The book, the handwritten book that you have got with the batch covers entire GST, customs and foreign trade policy. For CMA students who are opting for this batch, entire syllabus remains same for you. Everything is completely relevant. You only have one extra chapter named as duty drawback in your syllabus, for which video and PDF will separately be provided to you in your folder, and there is one chapter named as ethics, which is there for chartered accountant students and not there for CMA students. So you can skip that lecture. Other than that, entire 100% of the syllabus remains same for both the examination students. Okay, ma'am. The batch, as already mentioned, is relevant for May and November 25 students, or if you are appearing any exams post that. So if it is relevant for May 25, it automatically means that the batch is fully amended. If you are appearing in May 2025 examination, then there is not a single amendment that you will have to refer after we complete the lectures. So all the amendments that come up to 30 October 2024 are going to be applicable for your examinations, which we are going to cover in the batch, and they are already covered in your notes and question bank. If you are appearing for November 25 or onwards examination, then for November 25 students, all the amendments that come up to 30 April 2025 will be applicable for your examination, and 30 April 25 has not come only yet, which of course means that you will study all the amendments with me till 31 October, and then whatever new 6-month amendments come, I am going to share a PDF, video, everything with you. So do not worry about the amendments. If your exam is in November 25 or May 26, still you can go with the batch. We are going to completely cover everything till 31st October, and then whatever new 3-4 hours amendments come normally every attempt, that I am going to share the PDF and the notes with you. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is this a fast track kind of a batch? Because you are saying that you are going to cover entire CMA final syllabus in 110 hours. Yes, this is not a fast track batch. This is a full course, regular, detailed batch. Every single concept we are going to take from the scratch in this batch in 110 hours. Yes, you can ask your seniors who have taken my batches, or if any student who have studied from me. This is the time that we need to finish the syllabus. We don't do any nonsense in the class. We just come, start studying wherever appropriate. We feel like, okay, we need to enjoy a little bit, we do it, and we focus on the syllabus. So this time is enough, and plus major time that we save is with respect to notes, because I am giving you completely amended handwritten notes. Handwritten notes with the class. Ma'am, what do you mean by handwritten notes? See, this is what I mean by handwritten notes. The notes that you are going to get are literally handwritten, not the font handwritten, but I have written this book on my own on iPad, and this is my own handwriting that you are going to get. So you don't have to you don't have to make the notes along with me in the class. I am going to provide you proper notes that you need to study, to revise, to solve questions, and also the notes that you need one day prior to examination. So we are going to save our major time in writing. But ma'am, if we don't write, how will we do writing practice? Do not worry about that. I am here. I will make sure that you remember each and every section. I will make sure that you remember each and every theory. I will make sure that you remember each and every concept along with the language that is used in the law. Ma'am, how is that possible? We do multiple revisions in our class. By multiple, you might think that, ma'am, whatever you are teaching today, you are going to revise tomorrow and then you start with the new class. No, whatever I teach today, I continuously make you revise that thing at least for 4 to 5 days, at least I am saying. So every single thing that we study in the class only, with me, minimum 3 to 4 revisions or of every concept I am promising you. Other than that, of course, if you do self-study along with me during the batch only, nobody can stop you to achieve the target of 83 plus that I always give in each and every SAFAL batch. Ma'am, any reason behind the target of 83 plus marks? Means this is a weird number. I, in my CA final examination, had scored 82 marks in indirect taxes. So, of course, you as my students have to score more than me, and therefore the target is at least 83 or plus marks that you have to get for me. Also, you know, in May 2024, all India highest marks in CA final IDT examinations was of our student Rohit Garg. He scored all India highest marks in indirect taxes and he was our student. So yes, now I have got that blood on my mouth that I need all India highest marks, and one amongst you student is going to be that student who will get all India highest marks for me. So 83 plus is a general target for everyone, plus I am looking for that one student who is going to continue the legacy of my all India highest marks. So our target is not to just pass, the target is not to just get exemption, the target is all India highest marks. We have done it in past and we can do it. At least every attempt, 20-30% of the SAFAL batch students minimum score this 83%, 83 plus target for me. So it's nothing tough that we are saying, because the way we are going to study in the batch is completely different from any other lectures you would have ever seen in your life. With multiple revisions, cumulative revisions, learning techniques in the class itself, fun learning, entire question bank solving in the class. 100% of the question bank. We have approximately 520 pages question bank, and 100% of this question bank I am going to make you solve in the class with me, each and every question. Hardly some 10% questions maximum I am saying I would give you homework, considering that they are repetitive kind of nature. Other than that, every single question I will make you solve with me in the class. So do not worry about writing practice, question practice, learning the language, learning the section number. Just leave everything on me. What you have to do is concentrate and follow what I say. With the batch, you are going to get 5 block tests and 1 full course test. So the entire syllabus I've broken down it to 5 parts, like a block of 5, 5, 6, 6 chapters, and once we finish those 5, 6 chapters, I'll take a test. Then next 5, 6 chapters, I'll take a test. So these are all 50 marks test and this is 100 marks test. So by the end of the classes, you would have already written 50 into 5 plus 100 marks of test along with me only. So as soon as we complete one block, I will share the question paper on your drive. I will also share the suggested answer on your drive. You have to write the paper, self-evaluate it using the suggested answer, and then share the PDF with me. I will myself go through your PDF and suggest what changes you are required to do in your answer sheet. So there is, like, we don't have any assistant or any other CA final student or any recently qualified chartered accountant who is going to see your papers and then give you the comments. I myself am personally going to get involved in each and every student's test and make sure I'm very strict about the test. You have to write the test. I have all of your phone numbers. I call students also. I talk to their parents also. If you do not write test, I don't know. I need you to learn and to know each and every page of the handwritten notes, because I am looking for what? All India highest marks. Ma'am, what about doubts? For doubts, you would have received a Telegram group link, not the general link, the batch specific group link. We have a separate specific batch for all the SAFAL students of May 2025 and November 2025. So please make sure that you have joined this group, because this is the single point of communication between me and batch students. Someday, let's say we are cancelling the class, or let's say we are altering some time, or if I want to share some notes, I want to share board notes, I want to share test paper with you, I want to share anything, this batch group is going to be the single point of communication. See, my number is 9714111666. I have openly shared this number with every student, and a lot of students who have not even purchased the classes, who are just viewing my YouTube revisions, etc., also send me doubts or guidance requests on this number, and I generally try to reply each and every student. So normally anytime WhatsApp and Telegram is flooded with more than 300, 400, 500 messages on this number. So sometimes it might happen that you have DM'd me or you have texted me personally without notifying me in this group. You have just dropped me a WhatsApp. It might take me 7, 8, 9 days also to get back to you. I reply always, 100% I will reply to you, but I cannot guarantee about the time. But on the contrary, if you simply in the batch specific group even drop me a message that, ma'am, I have DM'd you, please check my DM. Immediately within 24 hours, I am going to reply you. So first priority always to batch students. So make sure any doubt that you are having, you post it in the batch specific group only. 100% I am going to reply to you. If you need any personal guidance, any personal assistance, anything that you cannot ask in the group, just drop me a message in the group that, ma'am, please check my DM. I have DM'd you so and so thing. Okay, then I will immediately get back to you. Now, if you have any technical issue, let's say you've purchased the classes, your software is not working, or you are not sure about when you are going to receive the book, or there is any other issue, please do not text me, please do not call me, because I stay at some other place and the team entire is at some other place. I cannot help you in any of the technical delivery or such matters. This is office number 95845-10000. Please note this number. This is front desk number, and I request you to call on this number only. I'll also give you one alternative number of the technical team. In case this number is not reachable or it is busy, you can also contact on 922-922-3040. This is office number, technical team number, front desk number. So anything that you need with respect to how to play the classes in the software, ma'am, I want to change my device, I have not received the book, there is etc., anything, whatever problem other than the subject doubt, you are going to contact on these provided numbers only. Particularly if you have any subject related doubt, preparation related doubt, then this is my number and the batch specific group link that you would have received on the mail. Make sure to join that. So now we have discussed about the duration, about the amendments, about the doubt solving mode, what material you are going to get. You are going to get the handwritten notes, approximately 385 pages notes. The only notes that we use in the regular batch, that we use in the power batch, that we use in the revision videos, that we are going to use to solve the questions. And trust me, by the end of the batch, you will be able to revise the entire book in half day. I am saying the day I end my class, no, half day or 1 day maximum, is what you require to revise the entire book. So I have drafted the book keeping in mind that you only get 1.5 day prior to examination, and I make sure that this 1.5 day is more than enough for you to cover up the entire syllabus. Everything is taken into consideration. 100% questions are going to be solved in the class. 100% coverage of the concept is going to be done in the class. So if you are attending the batch and you are referring to the handwritten notes, there is absolutely no need to refer the ICAI study material, because every single concept that is covered in the study material is there in the notes. I give this guarantee to you that nothing outside this book is going to come into the examination. Done. This is all about the batch that you need to know. Any queries you can ask me now, or we proceed further with the discussion about this subject. What is the coverage of the subject, how we are going to cover it, how are we going to break the syllabus, what duration we are going to take, how we are going to solve questions, everything we will discuss now. Any question with respect to batch? See, if you are taking live batch, you get 100% backup with it. Ma'am, what do you mean by 100% backup? If you view the live class or you miss the live class, it's irrelevant. We give you one full view backup of every single lecture. So let's say we have given you 110 hours of classes, you have 110 hours in your backup. So if you want to view one class one extra time, you can always view after live. If you have missed any class, then of course you can use your backup to view that class. So for the 110 hours that you are going to study live with me, there are going to be 110 hours available with you in the backup to view any class one extra time whenever you want it. And for students who are purchasing the class into recorded mode, I think you get 1.7 views or 1.5 views, something like that, which means for 100 hours or 110 hours of the class, you get 110 into 1.7 time views. So which means if you need to watch any particular area of any particular lecture second time, you can of course watch it. Timing of the batch, see, till 12 or 13 December, every day we are going to take the class 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. because I have my Hindi SAFAL batch currently going on in the morning slot, and I will mostly complete my Hindi SAFAL batch by 12 or 13 December. The day we complete Hindi SAFAL batch, we are going to shift the live class timings to the morning, and then your timings are going to be 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. So only for 10 days. Only for 10 days from today, your timings are 7:30 to 9:30 evening, and after that every day we will have timings 7:30 to 10:30 morning. 3 hours class daily. So it's 110 hours. Approximately by January end, we are going to finish up the syllabus. I will have some 5-6 days of leave in between because I have something scheduled in January. So considering that leave and everything, Jan end is max. January last week is the last time when we are going to complete up the entire syllabus. Perfect. Yes. Chalo. So now about this subject. CA final group 2 paper number 5 is indirect taxes. If you have zero exposure with respect to IDT, you have never even seen the GST portal, you don't even know the full form of IDT, you do not remember anything from CA Inter, doesn't matter. Each and everything I am going to take up from the scratch only. Thank you, Shubham. Hope you are enjoying the classes. Chaliye. So now, how is the syllabus broken? For CA final, indirect taxes, we have to study GST, and we have to study customs and FTP. FTP is foreign trade policy. GST is 80% coverage of the syllabus, and foreign trade policy customs is 20%. Now out of this 20% also, approximately 15%, as in 15 marks is customs and approximately 5 marks is foreign trade policy. Okay. So 80 marks GST, 15 marks around customs and 5 marks around foreign trade policy is what the paper looks like. But the paper doesn't come for 100 marks because you also have one optional question. So it is normally 114 marks, more than 100 marks. So yes, normally this 80 marks come for like 85, 86 marks approximately, 15 comes for like 20 marks approximately, but you have to attempt 80, 15 and 5 normally in the examination. Ma'am, how the paper pattern looks? So out of 100 marks, 30% is MCQ. and 70% is descriptive. Now this is common for each and every subject at CA final level, but still yes, 30% is MCQ and 70% is descriptive. I myself had scored 29 marks in MCQ in IDT, 30 marks in audit in in my examination, 27 marks in law. At our time in May 2022, we were not having MCQs in FR, AFM, etc. So MCQs we had in law, we had in audit, we had in IDT, and I had scored 27, 29, 30 in all these subjects. So yes, you are in safe hands. Do not worry. I am going to perfectly guide you how to tackle the MCQs. And trust me, at least 25 plus in 30. At least 25 plus. I am saying below 25, so I am not going to accept only, because we are aiming all India highest. Come on, yaar. So at least 25 plus is what you are going to get in MCQ. Just pay attention the flow that we follow in the class. What you have to bring in the class daily, the handwritten notes. They are the Bhagavad Gita that we have to follow. Everything is covered in this handwritten notes. Question bank, calculator, pen, highlighter, sticky notes if available, and a book, a notebook that you are going to maintain, a separate notebook of 50 pages. Ma'am, only 50 pages, yes. At some places, I am going to make you draw some extra charts, some summaries, some difference between, some examples. For this purpose, only one small notebook. One small notebook, 50 pages would be more than enough that you are going to need with the entire batch. Plus a lot of rough sheets that you are going to bring daily. Because every single concept, once we complete, we scribble and we revise it right there and then only. So each and every lecture, at least 6, 7, 8 rough sheets you are going to require, which you are going to fill along with me to scribble and to remember things. So this is all that you need with the batch, no other thing required other than this. How we proceed, ma'am? Normally, every attempt, I take customs portion first and GST portion later, because we start the classes early and amendments come in between, etc. But this time, because we are starting the lectures after cutoff date only. So first I am going to cover the GST portion. Then we will move on to the customs portion, and then finally at the end one session is going to be for foreign trade policy. Now see, in GST we have 3 kinds of chapters. The core chapters. Ma'am, what do you mean by core? Like, what is the core of GST? Ma'am, input tax credit. How is GST charged? What is the time of supply, value of supply, place of supply, supply chapter. So these are the core chapters that form the foundation of GST. As in, we have supply, charge, time, value, place, ITC. Then there are some procedural chapters. Like you have registration, like how to apply. Then once you apply, within how many days officer is going to issue you notice, you have to reply. Then we have assessment here, we have inspection here. So these are kind of procedural chapters which involve, or let's say, returns, like what is the due date of return, when to file the return, if not filed on time, what is the late fees, etc, etc. So these are all the procedural kind of chapters where learning is more and understanding is less. These are the chapters where understanding is more and learning is less. And then we have some miscellaneous small 3-4 pages chapters like liability to pay, job work, advance ruling. There is one chapter named as miscellaneous chapter only. So these are all C category chapter. We never know when these questions are asked, but if asked, their maximum weightage is 4-5 marks only. So these core chapters alone cover almost 70 to 75% of IDT. Procedural chapters somewhere around 15%, and then remaining 5-6-7% is only the weightage of the miscellaneous chapter. Nevertheless, our target is all India highest marks. So in this SAFAL batch, because this is a regular batch, not a fast track, not exam oriented, nothing power kind of a batch. So every single concept I am going to consider as a category, and we will discuss each and everything in detail. Of course, I will tell you the importance from examination point of view after we cover the topic, so that you pay full attention while studying the topic, and then you know that, okay, this is not normally asked. So that ways we are going to allot it time at the time of revision. So this is how the syllabus of GST looks. Then in customs, entire customs act is not in syllabus. Only certain parts of customs is there in syllabus, like how to determine the duties, what are the type of duties, what is import procedure, export procedure, etc. Then there is one chapter named as duty drawback, which was earlier there in CA final syllabus, which is now removed from CA final syllabus, but it is still there in CMA. So I will provide a separate lecture and notes for this. Done, ma'am. Other than that, everything is common and same. Chaliye. So this was about the batch, me, and the process with which we are going to proceed with the batch. Now finally, today we are not going to study any chapter or anything. Today we are only going to understand the introduction of GST. That is all. Why did GST come into force? When did GST come into force? What was the need to bring GST in India, etc., etc. Because I am considering that you are completely unaware about this subject. You don't even know the full form of IDT, you don't even know the full form of GST, is what I am assuming, and I am starting to teach you. Chaliye. Now, the name of subject is IDT. What is IDT? Come on. You have taken the batch. I believe at least you know what is IDT. Ma'am, IDT is indirect tax. So ma'am, if we have indirect tax, it means we would also be having something known as direct tax, because if we have direct, then we have something named as indirect. Yes ma'am. So before understanding direct tax and indirect tax, let us understand the meaning of tax here. What we are going to study for next 110 hours is basically a kind of tax. Okay. Then what is the meaning of tax? One thing I forgot to mention, I don't like lazy students and inactive students. You have to be on your toes entire 3 hours during the batch. I mean, at the end of the batch, your typing speed should have increased, like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your crush is like super shocked, hey, you reply in a second or what? Because you are constantly giving me replies in the comment section. So your typing speed has to increase. So always whenever I am asking a question, I need reply from you, because the students who reply make mistakes. I point out those mistakes and we make sure that you never repeat your mistake, and this is how you score 83 plus. So if any answer you are aware about and I am asking in the class, you have to reply. There is no way out. If I find students who are not replying, I genuinely look into the lecture sheet. I have your numbers. I will call you and I will ask you, hey, what happened? Why are you not talking to me? And then you have to reply. Yeah? Chaliye. So what is a tax? Even inter students give me answer for this, that ma'am, what is tax? What is tax? Ma'am, tax is some kind of a payment that we have to make to government. Why? Why we have to make such kind of payments to government? Because ma'am, government is running administration for us. Government is providing facilities to us. Government is ensuring that we are safe in our country. So government does a lot of things for us. And for that, of course, they need money. And how will they get money? When we pay taxes. So yes, tax is kind of a payment. A payment that we have to make to government. Okay. Is this payment voluntary or is this payment enforced? Tell me. Can you today go and tell to government that, hey government, I am not in a mood to pay. This year, I don't want to pay taxes. I am not in a mood to pay. Can you go and tell this to government? No ma'am. Why? Because they are not giving you a choice. This is not an option. This is not a voluntary payment or a donation kind of thing that you are going to give to government. This is an enforced payment. Enforced contribution, as we call it. So this is not voluntary at all. So we say tax is a compulsory, monetary, pecuniary kind of payment that we have to give to government, because government does a lot of things for us. You believe or not, but government does. Okay ma'am. And this is not at all a donation or a voluntary kind of payment that we are giving to government. It is enforced and we have to compulsorily give this payment. Right ma'am. Now there are two types of taxes, two types of such enforced contributions that you give to government. One is direct tax and one is indirect tax. Right ma'am. What is the meaning of direct tax, ma'am? Let's say Srinivas. Srinivas became a chartered accountant today. Got a great job, 50 lakhs per annum. Oh wow, ma'am. Yes. Srinivas is earning 50 lakh per annum. As soon as the salary is coming and Srinivas is seeing TDS being deducted. Oh my god. Income tax I have to pay. Oh my god. Which means the person who is exactly earning the income is going to be the person who is exactly paying the tax to government. Means the person paying the tax, the person paying the tax to government is the same person who is going to bear the burden of the tax, which means the person paying direct taxes is going to feel the pinch. Ouch! This person is going to feel the pinch of paying the taxes because out of his own pockets he has to pay such taxes and bear the burden of the tax. This is known as direct tax. Whereas in indirect tax, the person paying the tax to government is not the same person who is bearing the burden of the tax. Then how the mechanism works, ma'am? Let us say Dolly. Dolly goes to a shop and purchases BMW. What, ma'am? BMW? Arey ma'am, according to our stipend, the BMW that we can afford is Balaji Masala Wafer. So let us say Dolly purchased Balaji Masala Wafer for rupees 10. Now, if you happen to ever see the packet carefully, we have this thing written inclusive of all taxes. So, MRP inclusive of all taxes, which means out of this 10, let us assume that the rate of GST is 18%. So, 10 divided by 118% if I do, I will say approximately 8.5 is what I am paying for the Balaji Masala Wafer chips and 1.5 is what I am paying for the tax. So, the Dolly who is going to purchase this Balaji Masala Wafer is going to pay 10 rupees to the shopkeeper, and this shopkeeper will keep 8.5 in his pocket and deposit 1.5 to government. Which means who is the person paying the tax to government? Who is the person paying the tax to government? Ma'am, shopkeeper. But who is actually bearing the burden of this tax? Ma'am, Dolly. So the person paying and the person bearing the burden are not going to be the same person, which means Dolly is not directly going to feel the pinch of paying the taxes. Anything and everything that you look around, any goods or services, when you would have purchased, you would have paid GST and you don't even realize it. Let us say you purchased the SAFAL batch. Okay, SAFAL batch also attracts 18% GST. So let's say you paid 8,000 rupees for the batch. 8,000 divided by 118%. Actually, what I got is 6780 only, and the remaining amount went to government. So I am teaching you GST. You are doing all the hard work. I am doing all the hard work, and who is enjoying? Government. But did you even feel that pinch? What you felt? Ma'am, the lectures are for 8,000. No, bacha. The lectures are for 6780 and the remaining amount went to government in the name of GST. Let us say when I purchase this phone attracts 18% GST. Let's assume the phone is for 1 lakh. Then in that case again 18,000 approximately, back calculation of course the amount will differ, but okay, 18,000 approximately went to government only. Ma'am, this clothes, let's say they attract 5% GST and I purchased the shirt for 1,000 rupees, then I will say 1,000 into 5% went to government. So I do not even realize, and in my daily life so much of GST I pay. You know, tomorrow you do this exercise. Tomorrow, whatever you purchase throughout the day, just make sure to note the GST amount. Let's say morning you go to a restaurant to have breakfast or you purchase something, and then in the bill you check the GST amount. Then let's say you went and you purchase some stationery, you went to a mall, you purchased some clothes. For the entire 2-3 days, you monitor this thing, that whatever goods or services you are purchasing, each and everything involves an element of GST. So we never even realize, and we are paying such amounts of GST to the suppliers, and then the suppliers go and file the returns and pay such taxes to government. So because the burden of paying the taxes is shifted from the payer to the recipient, in that case we call it as indirect tax. Why indirect? Because the burden is shifted. So tell me, which out of the two tax will be easier for government to collect? Tell me, I explained you what is direct tax, I explained you what is indirect tax. Now you tell me which tax will be comparatively easy for government to collect, direct or indirect? Ma'am, see, indirect tax, of course, the person is. Indirect tax, we are saying that the person is feeling the pinch. The person paying and bearing the burden is the same person. So, of course, he will try and do something to escape taxes. So, this normally becomes difficult for government to collect. But here we will say that because the person is not even realizing that he is paying the taxes. In very normal ordinary course of business, we purchase things, we pay taxes to the supplier, and then supplier goes and give this taxes to government. So of course this becomes more easy for government to collect because people are not trying to escape the taxes. No, let's say you purchased lipstick, you didn't even realize you paid GST. When I purchased this calculator, I didn't even realize I paid GST. So it is so much easy for government and so much easy as to do administration of indirect taxes. The collection of taxes become relatively simple. Chalo. Then we say direct taxes are progressive in nature, whereas indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Ma'am, what is the meaning of progressive and regressive? Let us say we have Shreyas here. Shreyas is earning 4 lakh rupees per annum. Let us assume Shreyas is earning only 4 lakh rupees per annum. He engaged into some kind of supplies and he was able to earn 4 lakh rupees. Whereas we have Mr. Mukesh Ambani, who is already earning lakhs and crores of rupees. Plus he earned an additional income of extra 4 lakh rupees along with the already existing income of thousands of crores of rupees. Now in that case, tell me, is the 4 lakh earned by Shreyas and the 4 lakh earned by Mukesh Ambani are going to be taxed at the same rate? Say yes or no. You understood my question. Shreyas is a person earning only 4 lakh rupees. Mukesh Ambani already earned 1000 crore, let us say, and plus he is earning extra 4 lakh rupees. Are both these people required to pay taxes at the same rate of the same amount? Say yes or no. No, ma'am. Why? Because in income tax we have slabs. In direct taxes we have slabs. More the income, more the ability to pay the tax, more is the taxes that government is going to levy from you. Therefore, we call them progressive. As you progress forward with your capability to pay taxes, government is also going to charge more and more taxes from you. Whereas, let us say, Shreyas went to a shop and purchased a masala wafer chips. Also, Mr. Mukesh Ambani went to a shop and purchased a Balaji masala wafer chips. And let's say there's this below poverty line person who went to a shop and purchased a 10 rupee BMW chips. All three people are going to pay same amount of tax only. So here we say that irrespective of the ability of the person to pay the taxes, we are going to levy same tax on each and every person. Even if the person is more capable, less capable, equal capable, doesn't matter. The amount and the percentage of tax for every person with respect to each goods or services are going to remain same only. Which makes me come to a point that direct taxes are levied on person, we can say, but indirect taxes are normally levied on goods or services, which means let's talk about this mobile phone. Okay, if I purchase this mobile, Shreya purchases this mobile, or Mr. Ambani purchases this mobile, each and every person will pay same amount of indirect tax on this mobile because the tax is on mobile, not on the person purchasing or selling the mobile. Whereas if I talk about an income of 4 lakh rupees, I will say that it depends on the person, that in which slab rate that person is falling. So now we are saying that we are less concerned about the income and we are more concerned about the person. So we levy the taxes on that person. Whereas here we are levying the taxes on the supply of goods or services. Can you give me one example each of direct tax and indirect tax now? After having discussed all the characteristics about both the taxes, just give me one example of both the taxes, one of direct tax and one of indirect tax. The most common example that anyone can think of. Ma'am, income tax is a direct tax. GST, goods and services tax, is an indirect tax. All the examples that we were discussing, we were keeping these taxes in our mind only, no? Yes, ma'am. So we have income tax as a direct tax, then we have GST, we also have customs. Customs is also levied on import and export of goods. So it doesn't matter that who is the person importing or exporting. What matters is what are the goods being imported or exported. Based on that, we levy customs duty. So these are simply the examples of direct tax and indirect tax. Now my discussion further for the next remaining 110 hours is going to be restricted to indirect tax only. This was just to give you an overview that what is tax and what kind of taxes do exist. So we have direct taxes, we have indirect taxes. Now you have a whole separate paper dedicated to direct tax, paper number 4 group 2, which is direct tax paper. And then we have paper number 5, which is IDT. So now all the further discussion with respect to direct tax is going to happen in the classes of your DT. What we now discuss further for the remaining lectures is IDT, indirect tax. We have GST also in syllabus, we have customs also in syllabus. Today first we start with GST. And the next 75-80 hours we are going to study GST only. Because of course the duration is approximately 100 hours and the paper comes for 100 marks. 80% paper is GST. So we give approximately 80 hours to GST and the remaining 20-25 hours to customs. Very simple mathematics here. So for next 75-80 hours, what we are going to study is GST. Tell me the full form of GST. Come on guys. Ma'am, good night, sweet dream, take care. Okay. Any other full form that you know? What is the full form of GST? Ma'am, good night, sweet dream, take care. Understood, Babu, but tell me any another full form that you know. Of course, good night, sweet dream, take care is not what I'm going to teach you in the class. That you already know. So you guys can teach me. Yes, ma'am. Goods and services tax. GST is goods and services tax. Goods and services tax. So this is a kind of a tax. Ma'am, what is tax? Enforced payment that you do to government. So this is a kind of tax which essentially will be levied on goods and services. So this is a kind of tax which essentially will be levied on goods and services. This kind of a tax is known as GST. So whenever goods or services are being supplied, government levies a kind of tax which is known as GST. Chalo. In which year was GST implemented in India, anyone? Ma'am, you are teaching us GST or you are teaching us general knowledge? Because you've been constantly asking us GK questions. With the batch, you're going to realize that you have a lot of things involved in the batch, not just IDT. We have English classes, we have IDT classes, we have grammar classes, we also have general knowledge classes. With the batch, everything free combo involved. Ma'am, the happy birthday of GST is 1st July 2017. This is the day. 1st July also happens to be CA day, doctor day. So this is the happy birthday of what? GST. Which means this kind of a tax to be levied on goods or services started from the year 2017 only. What were we doing prior to that? Were we not levying any taxes? Let's say in 2016, if I purchased the Balaji Masala wafer, was I not taxed with some kind of a tax? There were no indirect taxes paid prior to 2017, tell me. No ma'am, of course we had taxes that at that time also, and those taxes were VAT, service tax, then we had excise, octroys, local taxes, purchase taxes, etc. Yes. So it is not that no taxes were levied prior to 2017. There were other taxes which were existing prior to 2017. But what was the problem then? If we already had a kind of a taxation regime which was there in force for all the goods or services, then what was the need to implement GST in India? if we already were having a good proper taxation regime in place where all the goods and services were being taxed, then what was the need to implement GST in India? Sure. Story time. What, ma'am? Story time. I'll tell you a nice good story. Listen. Okay. Let's assume we are in 2015-16, pre-GST era. Okay, ma'am. I had just started preparing for my CPT examinations. I was the last CPT batch student. After my attempt, foundation started. So I was lucky enough to do tick and clear CPT. So I was preparing for CPT and I had this neighbor named Ankit. Okay. Ankit was a super rich, spoiled guy. Means he was doing everything in life to enjoy except for studying or doing something good. Because his father was extremely rich and he was unbothered about anything. Okay, I was bothered, but so I started preparing for CPT. Ankit's father got to know that Riddhi is preparing for CPT and what is my son doing? Nothing. So Ankit's father called him and uncle told him, Ankit, what are you doing? What are you doing? See the students of your age, they are studying seriously, they are preparing for exams, they are preparing for competitive exams, they are doing something with their life, and what are you doing with my money? Nothing. Ankit's ego got hurt. Ankit was like, no, done. I will show my father that I can earn. Okay, it is not his money, I can also earn, is what Ankit decided. He took some money on loan from his father and decided to set up a factory to manufacture bottles. Because according to Ankit, bottle would be in the most demand, of course, in the generation. So Ankit thought that bottles will never go out of fashion and bottles will never go out of demand. So this is what I am going to manufacture. Okay. I used to stay at Ahmedabad at that point of time. So let us say Ankit is also from Ahmedabad because of course he is my neighbor. He decided to set up a factory in Ahmedabad. Now for this factory, he needs some kind of a machines, raw materials, designs and a lot of things to start the production. So Ankit went to the local Ahmedabad market. Purchased some materials, and as soon as he got the invoice, he saw something as VAT in his bill. He saw something as VAT in his bill. He was confused. What is this VAT? What is this VAT? I don't know. So he immediately thought of me. He was like, yes, Riddhi is preparing for CA. She would be aware about what is VAT. And he called me. I picked up the call. I said, hello. Hi, bhaiya. And Ankit was like, hey, don't call me bhaiya. I said, hey, you say na. What? Why you called? And then Ankit said, Riddhi, I am in the local market of Ahmedabad. I purchased something for my factory and this person is charging something known as VAT from me. I said, hey, do not worry. Do not worry, VAT is value added tax. So normally, whenever you sell some kind of a goods, this kind of taxes are normally being levied, so do not worry. If you go to any other shop and purchase any other goods, they will levy VAT from you, so do not worry. Ankit was like, okay. They are not cheating me, this kind of taxes are actually levied. Done. Now he was not able to purchase everything that he needs from the Ahmedabad market. So he went to Mumbai to procure some kind of machines, etc. As soon as he purchased something at Mumbai, he saw something in the name of CST in the bill. He was like, VAT should be charged from me, no, because I have purchased goods. Why are they charging something known as CST? He again called me. Hello, Riddhi. I said, hi, bhaiya. He said, told you, no, don't call me bhaiya. I said, hurry, you say now, what happened? Then Ankit was like, hey, I am in Mumbai. I have purchased some goods and they are charging something known as VAT from me. I said, I forgot to tell you that if you are purchasing intra-state goods, no, then VAT will be charged from you. But now because you went outside of Gujarat, you are doing interstate transaction, which means now what is going to be levied on you? CST, which is Central Sales Tax. Okay. So Ankit understood that if I do intra-state transactions, VAT will be levied from me. If I do interstate transactions, CST is going to be levied on me. Now because he was there in Mumbai only, so he thought, chalo, let's go and visit Mannat. Mannat? Shah Rukh Khan's home. Why, ma'am? To meet Shah Rukh Khan? No, to meet Gauri. To meet Gauri in Mumbai. Why? because Ankit wanted his factory to look super cute. Cute, yes. Ankit hired Gauri, SRK's wife. Gauri, if you don't know, is an interior designer. She owns a company named as D Decor. And so, Ankit thought to get the work done from the best. So, Ankit went at Mannat, gave my reference that I am Riddhi's friend, and they straight away allowed him into the house. Oh, ma'am, yes. He went, met Gauri, explained her everything about the factory, the layout, and what kind of interior he wants. And they agreed on interior decoration services. Gauri gave him an invoice right there and there, charging service tax from him. Ankit again went to washroom running. Riddhi, CST should be charged from me, no, because I am interstate. What is this service tax? I said, what you purchased? He said, interior decoration services. I said, Buddhu, VAT and CST are taxes which are levied on goods. Service tax is the tax which is levied throughout India on services. No inter, nothing. Any kind of service, if it is supplied, service tax is going to be levied. Ankit is already confused. Oh my God, so many taxes. VAT, CST, service tax. I said, yeah, this is all majorly, so do not worry. Now, factory is set up, production has started, everything is done. Ankit is extremely excited. He just called me. Hey Riddhi, I said, hi bhaiya. Arey, don't call me bhaiya. I said, okay, sorry, tell me. Ankit said, now is my time to collect VAT CST from people because now my production has started and I am going to supply bottles. I said, hey, wait. What? I said, if you are doing manufacturing, in India, there is a tax named as excise that you have to pay to government. Ankit was shattered and done there only. It was like so many taxes. I said, you still have some other municipal taxes, octroys, local taxes. Do not worry. There are some more 10-15 taxes more that you have to comply with. Ankit was like, shit, I cannot do business. And just like Ankit, there were many other businessmen who were so much confused with the multiple taxes that used to coexist. Now also understand the problems that were there. Let's say you go to restaurant. Now in restaurant, you get food which is goods, plus you also go for ambience. Food that you can cook at home also, no. You basically go there so that you can sit and you can enjoy their service of them serving the food to you and the ambience. So I will say that yes, in restaurant, I go for both food as goods and also ambience as service. Then what should I charge? VAT or service tax? Let us take an example of software. So there were some kind of transactions where the distinction was not clear whether they are goods or services. So what government used to do? Levy both. VAT also, service tax also. So now here, because the distinction is not blur, so I levy tax which is levied on goods, also I levy tax which is levied on services also. Plus cascading effects, which means let's say I manufacture something for 100. Now on manufacturing, any which ways excise is levied. Arbitrary example, let's say 20 is the excise. My cost becomes 120. Now on 120, I levy VAT also. Let's assume VAT is 10%. So again 12 rupees VAT is also charged. Now if you understand, on this 12, 2 is the 20 ka 10% portion. No. So you are levying tax on tax, cascading effects, multiple taxes, multiple compliances, distinction not clear. Plus understand, when I do intrastate transaction, VAT is levied from me. When I do interstate transaction, CST is levied from me. Both of them are kind of taxes levied on goods only, kind of value-added tax only. But still, their set-off was not easily possible. You were not allowed to set off VAT credit for CST, CST credit for VAT, which means you were accumulating credits without being able to set off them. So these were all the problems which were there existing in the earlier taxation regime, and just like Ankit, a lot of businessmen were facing a lot of problems. Therefore, in 2017, finally government came up with one nation, one tax. Finally government came up with one nation, one tax, saying that now on all goods and services across India, whether you manufacture, supply, whatever you do, means we are least concerned about whether you are selling, purchasing, leasing, renting, disposing. We call everything as supply only, and whatever goods or services you supply, one nation, one tax we are going to levy, which is going to be GST. So this is how GST was born. Tell me, is everything clear to you all? Ma'am, why did you explain all this? Wait for next class. You will understand that why did I explain all of these taxes which are not even there now. Ma'am, don't you think you wasted half an hour? Don't you think you wasted half an hour explaining when was VAT, CST, service tax, excise, etc. charged? No, I didn't waste this time, and you will realize this in next class, because there are still some goods and services on which these kind of taxes are continued and GST is not applicable on them. So we have to know about these taxes also. How can you study GST further? How can you study GST further if you are unaware about the reason of why GST was born? We always need to know why about anything, that why are we studying this particular topic. So why did GST come into picture? Ma'am, because of, can you now tell me some of the problems which were there in the earlier taxation regime? Ma'am, cascading effect, multiple taxes, tax on tax, distinction between goods, services not clear, multiple compliances, not possible to set off credit of SENVAT and VAT, as in CST and VAT credit, not possible to set off. So because of all these kinds of problems, we came up with GST, which is now based on a concept of one nation, one tax. GST is also a value added tax. How, ma'am? We are going to understand this entire mechanism when we proceed further. Okay, ma'am. Let us go to our notes once. Come. This is our book, handwritten 5.0. I think you would have received the book, and if not, you will be receiving it in 2-3 days only, because all the students who have enrolled for the batch, I guess your books are dispatched. If not dispatched, maximum by tomorrow they will be dispatched. So next 4-5 days maximum you will receive your books also. Till then you can use the PDF. I will upload and share all the PDF in the batch specific Telegram group. Also, I'll upload them on your drive. Okay, ma'am. Chalo. So now this chapter number 1, GST in India, an introduction, is not applicable for exam. Huh? What, ma'am? This chapter is given in your module as annexure to chapter number 1. So in your module, chapter number 1 is supply under GST. After the entire chapter ends, they have given something in the name of GST in India, an introduction, and this entire discussion is given in that annexure. Below that annexure, they have simply written, it is not applicable for exam, which means whatever I am explaining you in these next 1-2 hours from this chapter of GST in India, an introduction, is only relevant for your understanding. Also understand, ICAI will not directly ask question from this chapter, but they will assume that you know this chapter. So there are some things, let us say we will discuss about what are the states under GST, what are the union territories under GST, what are the goods on which GST is not being levied. So they are saying we will not directly ask you this thing, but we can ask you any other question from any other chapter which would involve the understanding of this point, because ICAI assumes that you already know this. See, this chapter is not applicable for examination point of view for CA students. For CMA students, though, they can directly ask you a question from this chapter also. So for CMA students, you have to pay full attention. You have to also learn the things, because anything from this chapter can come up in your examination. But for CA students, this chapter is there in the module, given as annexure in the chapter of supply. But they have clearly said that they will not directly ask question from this, but they will assume that you already know this. Now, if they are going to assume that we already know this, which means we have to know this now. Right, ma'am? You don't have to learn, but you need to know the things. Okay, ma'am. So first of all, what is tax? Now this is all literal time pass that you already know, being final level students, that ma'am, tax is a burden laid upon individuals or property owners because we have to support the government. It is a kind of a payment that is exacted. Exacted means kind of recovered. Kisi se nikalwana. Okay, now you don't understand Hindi. Exacted means to get something from someone is exacted. So it's a kind of a payment that government exacts from you by legislative authority. Law gives this power to government, that government can levy taxes. Of course, this is not a voluntary payment or any kind of donation. This is an enforced contribution, which means compulsory you will have to pay the taxes. The two types of taxes, direct tax, indirect tax. Indirect tax, the person paying the tax directly bears the incidence. Incidence means burden of the tax. But in indirect tax, the person paying the tax shifts the burden on the ultimate consumer. You collect the tax from the ultimate consumer and go and pay to government. Direct taxes are progressive in nature, which means higher your ability to pay, more taxes government is going to charge from you. But indirect taxes are regressive, which means irrespective of your ability to pay, government is going to charge equal tax from each and every person. So here examples can be GST and customs where the burden is shifted, and example income tax where the person himself bears the burden. Right, ma'am. Chalo now. Framework of GST in India. India has adopted dual GST. Can you explain me the meaning of dual GST? See, understand India is a federal structure country. Ma'am, what do you mean by the term federal? We have central government operating at the India level, center level. We also have state governments operating at state levels. Central government needs its own funds to run the country, defense, everything, and state governments have their own rules and they also need money to run a particular state, of course. So GST is framed in such a way that central government plus state government together can levy and collect taxes. Therefore, we call the model of GST as a dual model. Let us say, I made a sale from Ahmedabad to Surat. For people who don't know, Ahmedabad and Surat, both of these cities are in Gujarat only. Which means we are saying that when the goods will be supplied from Ahmedabad to Surat, what kind of taxes I am going to levy? C plus S GST. CGST, Central Goods and Services Tax plus Gujarat State GST particularly. But let us say I supply goods from Ahmedabad to Chennai. Then which tax will be levied? Ma'am, if you supply goods from Ahmedabad to Chennai, in that case IGST, Integrated Goods and Services Tax is going to be levied. So whenever you do an intra-state transaction, any goods or services, C plus SGST is levied. But whenever you do an interstate transaction, once they levy IGST from you, and then what the central government does, let us say this supply was for 100 and 18% GST, 18 rupees as IGST were collected from you. Then what the central government will do, after collecting entire 18, 9 they will keep with themselves and the remaining 9 they will give to the respective state where the place of supply falls. So once entire IGST is collected, 50% of it is apportioned to the state, which actually becomes the place of supply. So this is how. See, if this is intrastate, then to directly you pay C plus S only. But if the transaction is interstate, once you pay IGST, which central government will collect, and then out of this entire amount collected, whatever is to be apportioned to the state, central government will give. So ultimately, after the entire transaction is finished up, half amount remains with the central government and half amount remains with the state government for whatever supplies you are carrying out. Chal. Without explaining this point, let me ask you a question. First you answer, then I will explain. Let us say goods are supplied from Rajasthan to Andhra Pradesh. Goods are supplied from Rajasthan to Andhra Pradesh. Tell me which tax will be levied? CGST, SGST, IGST. What will be the place of supply? As in, after levying IGST, the 50% amount will go to which state? Rajasthan or Andhra Pradesh? Which state becomes the place of supply, the jurisdiction which becomes entitled to get the GST payment? Ma'am, of course, because this is interstate transaction, we are going to levy IGST, that is for sure. But which government will get the revenue? Rajasthan government or Andhra Pradesh government? Tell me. Which government is going to get the revenue of this supply? Very good, guys. Ma'am, Andhra Pradesh is going to get the revenue of this supply because GST relies on a concept of consumption based tax, destination based tax. We call it as consumption based tax or destination based tax, which means what is the origin of the goods is irrelevant. what is the origin of the goods is irrelevant. We have to see what is the destination of the goods. Where the goods or services are being consumed, that state gets the revenue of GST. So students who are saying Rajasthan, you guys are incorrect, bacha. GST is not an origin based tax. GST is a consumption destination based tax, which means the place where such goods or services are actually supplied, destined or consumed, that state gets the revenue of GST. Because understand why. Such tax is levied on goods or services. So of course we need to see that where these goods or services are actually being consumed, actually being used, that state should only get the revenue of GST. Because who is bearing the burden ultimately? Ma'am, the consumer. The consumer always bears the burden of the tax. Now let us understand, a person from Rajasthan sells some goods to a person in Andhra Pradesh. Now I am telling the Andhra Pradesh consumer to pay GST, and that GST will go to Rajasthan government. Why will this person ever be happy to pay to government? I will be happy to pay the taxes if at least those taxes go to my own state, because I am paying. So it's a very simple logic that the consumer is paying the taxes, consumer is bearing the burden actually. So the tax should also go to the state of the consumer only, no? Say yes or no. Perfect. Why will an Andhra Pradesh person be happy to pay taxes to Rajasthan government person? Of course no, ma'am. Therefore we say that we always have to see what is the point of consumption. What is the point of consumption? What is the point of destination of such goods or services? That place normally becomes the place of supply, and that state becomes entitled to get the revenue of GST. So we are saying that owing to the federal structure of the country, where we have centers and states operating together, we have introduced dual GST model in India, which means concurrently both the center as well as state impose taxes on any supplies happening. And also GST is a destination based tax, which means taxes that you levy on consumption of goods, services or both. The tax revenue would accrue to the place of consumption state and not the origin state. Say yes or no. Everything that we have discussed till now is absolutely clear. If yes, the Hindi SAFAL batch students have started a tradition of putting heart, fire, bomb emojis in the comment section. That is how we exchange energies. I don't like a rukha sukha comment section. It should be lit with a lot of emojis all the time. So if you are enjoying any particular topic, you are understanding any particular topic, you simply have to put a lot of heart, fire, bomb emojis in the comment section. We call it as dil, aag, bomb. Dil as in heart, aag as in fire, bomb is bomb. So dil, aag, bomb emojis in the comment section. This was all about a simple introduction. What is tax? The two types of taxes. Then we go into detail of indirect tax, particularly GST, which is a dual model, a destination based tax. Yes, ma'am. Then we go to the genesis of GST in India, completely irrelevant topic, I would say, because as such not applicable for exam also, and also you just need to understand, you just have to listen this. Do not even try reading or remembering, not relevant, you simply have to listen and let go. Genesis means the journey of GST, like in which year we thought GST would come, then it was introduced into parliament, then it was passed, then Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, president assented, then the states came up with the state acts, and this is how GST came into force. So it's just about the timeline that we are studying about GST. So you just have to listen once and let go. Happy birthday of GST we've already discussed. It is 1st July 2017 when GST was launched, which was the first country in the world to bring this concept of one nation, one tax, that there should be one tax applicable on all goods or services across the country. It was France. France was the first country who first thought about a concept, a tax such as GST, which would subsume all the taxes applicable individually on different goods or services. So first was France to implement a tax kind of GST, and then later more than 160 countries including India also adopted GST mechanism. Year 2000, my birth date. Really, ma'am? Yes. 20 December 2000 is when I was born. So of course I was born for GST. I was born for GST. So government got to know that yes, we are in 2000 and Riddhi is going to born. So yes, now we can officially start the process of implementing GST in India because I was born for GST. So the year 2000, the then Prime Minister first mooted the concept of GST in India. Like they set up a committee, they decided that yes, we should actually think on this, do a survey, let's find out whether implementing GST in India would be feasible or not. So this idea, this thought process first came up in 2000 when I came in this world. Then after 5-6 years in 2006-7, our Union Finance Minister, then Union Finance Minister P. Chidambaram ji, he even announced in the budget that from 2010, we are going to implement GST in India. And of course, GST kept on missing several deadlines, and then ultimately in 2014, the Constitution Amendment Bill was introduced in Lok Sabha. Then Lok Sabha passed the bill, then Rajya Sabha passed the bill, President assented the bill, and ultimately the bill, when passed by both the houses and assented by President, it becomes Act. But ma'am, to implement GST, why was there need to amend Constitution? A bill to amend the Constitution was introduced because we wanted to bring GST in India. Why? You need to wait 1.5 hours for this. Maybe today or in next class, we will discuss this point. That to bring GST in India, why we had to amend the Constitution. For now, you remember we had to amend. Why? We'll come to that point also. See here. In this chapter only we study this, that why was there a need to amend the Constitution. So wait for it to come. Okay, ma'am. So to amend the Constitution, bill was passed, assented by both, passed by both the houses, assented by President, and it became an act. Then GST Council had its meeting, recommended CGST, SGST, IGST, says UTGST, all the bills, all the states passed their respective state GST acts, and ultimately the supporting rules to the sections were also implemented and enacted. And then finally on 30th June 2017, except Jammu Kashmir, all the states in India had passed their respective SGST Act. Only Jammu Kashmir was pending till 30 June. So we did not wait for Jammu Kashmir and we straight away implemented GST from 1st July 2017. After a week, Mehbooba maan gayi, which means Jammu Kashmir also passed its SGST Act, and today, presently, GST is applicable to whole of India without any exception. Without any exception, GST today is applicable to each and every corner of India. So it took us whole 17 years to actually implement GST in India. The concept first was mooted, what was thought upon in 2000. Committee was set up, various meetings were done, bills were introduced, and then finally 2017 was the time. See, when the process started, it was super fast. In 2015, 16, 17, everything happened. And first 15 years, we were just trying to bring GST in India. Now all those government things we know. Right, ma'am. So today, applicable from 1st July 2017, GST is applicable to whole of India. Jammu Kashmir was then pending, but also on 8th July, it also passed its act. And then finally, GST applicable to every part of India today. Okay, ma'am. Concept of GST. What is the concept? What are the pillars on which GST is based? Ma'am, GST is a value added tax. What do we understand by the term value added tax? Let's discuss. Chalo. Let us say we have Mr. A, B, C and D. A manufactured some goods. These are the goods and he is selling these goods to Mr. B. Let us say for 100 rupees. For the sake of simplicity, we assume the rate of GST to be 10%. Now, practically, we have 5, 12, 18, 28. We do not have a rate as 10%. Only for this example, we are assuming rate is 10%. So, let's say 10% GST is charged, which means 10 rupees GST and plus 100 rupees taxable value. So, Mr. B will pay 110 rupees to Mr. A. Say yes, done, ma'am. Mr. B paid 110 rupees to Mr. A. Now you tell me, out of 110, what Mr. A will keep in his pocket and what Mr. A will pay to government? Ma'am, Mr. A will keep 100 with him in his pocket and 10 rupees because are collected in the name of tax as GST will be paid to government. Perfect, ma'am. Now Mr. B sold these goods further to Mr. C. Let us say for 140 rupees. Again GST applicable on goods at 10% only. So ma'am 14 would be GST. Okay. So 140 plus 14, 154. 154 is what Mr. C will pay to Mr. B. Perfect. Out of this 154, Mr. B will say that 140 I have to keep in my pocket because that is what I am charging as taxable value, and 14 rupees tax I have to pay to government. But will I pay entire 14? No ma'am, because 10 I have already paid. No, we are saying 10 rupees on these goods have already been paid to government. B will say at that point of time, I paid 10 out of my own pocket to Mr. A because I was consumer. But now these goods are passed on to Mr. C. Now the final consumer is Mr. C and I have collected entire 14 from him. So what I will do is, I will keep the 10 with me that I have already paid to government from my pocket and only pay 4 rupees extra now to the government. Understood this concept? Say yes or no. Ultimately, what happened with B? B initially paid 10 out of own pocket, got 10 from C and then paid only 4. Government got total 14. Government already got 10 rupees here on first transaction. Now government got 4 from here. So government is at this point of time having 14 with it, which it should have, because at the end the goods are sold for 140. So what is the final consumer? What is the final GST paid by consumer is there with the government? 10 plus 4. Say yes or no. Yes ma'am. Now let us see, Mr. C added further value to the goods and sold these goods to Mr. D for 200 rupees. Now 200, 10% GST, 220. So Mr. D paid 220 rupees to C. Now C will keep 200 in his own pocket and now C will say I have to pay 20 to government, but wait, I have already paid 14. I have already paid 14 as tax to Mr. B, which already have been received by government. So let me take this credit of 14 that I have already paid and the extra 7 is what? Now I will pay to government, which means government now gets 7 rupees. So in totality, government has already, oh sorry, not 7, this is going to be 6. 6. Yes ma'am. So now here we say in total, government has already got 10 plus 4 plus 6 which equals to 20, which is the entire burden borne by the final consumer. So all the intermediate people involved in this transaction, whatever taxes they pay, they get credit of the same. All the intermediate people, whatever taxes they pay, they get credit. You pay taxes, you get credit, which means this kind of tax as an amount never gets added in your cost. Understood? Today, if Mr. B is paying 110 to Mr. A, he knows that the moment he sells these goods further to Mr. C, he will get the GST amount as credit. So 10 rupees ideally is not his cost only the 100 rupees is his cost. 10 whatever GST he has paid, he will get the credit because he is not consuming the goods. No, the consumer has to bear all the burden. B in his business will further sell the goods, then why should he pay GST? So he today only knows that 10 is not his cost, 10 is the tax that he has paid, and when he further sells these goods, he automatically can get the credit, deduct the amount and only pay the amount to government what is the value added. So here from 100 to 140, my value added was 40. 10% of 40 means 4. 4 is extra what government got from here. Then from 140 to 200, my value added is 60. 60 into 10% is 6 rupees extra is what government got. So at each and every stage, what new value is being added, only GST on that new value is paid to government. So we say that at each and every point, what is the value added? Only new tax on that value added you have to pay. Why ma'am? Because whatever earlier taxes you have paid, no, you keep getting continuous tax credit of all those taxes. But ma'am, if everyone starts to get the credits, then who will ultimately bear the burden? The final consumer. So whatever total taxes paid to government, no, whatever total tax is paid to government, finally everything comes out from the pocket of the ultimate consumer only. Even though the taxes is paid at stages in value added basis, but ultimately the entire burden is borne by the final consumer, Mr. D. And all the intermediate people keep to get credit of the taxes that they have already paid. Plus there is no cascading, which means there is never tax levied on tax. Let's say when the goods of 100 were sold for 140 and then for 200, I levied taxes only on the taxable value. When for 100, 10% GST was charged and it became 110, I never charged GST on this 10. GST on GST is never being taxed. See, earlier what used to happen, the goods of 100, let us say 10 is excise, the cost only becomes 110. And now if you sell them further, no, you have to levy taxes on entire 110 and not on 100, which is not happening now, which means there is no tax on tax and there is no cascading. Whatever GST I pay, I get credit. So GST never gets added in my cost. Say yes or yes. There is no option of no. Say yes or yes, you have absolutely understood the concept of GST. Today we are not studying anything, I repeat again, I am just building a foundation for you so that you know the terms, what is tax, what is credit, what is chain, what is value addition. You should be aware about all these terms. Of course, ICI will not ask you explain the concept on which GST is based, no, but you have to know this, otherwise you cannot understand the further chapters. I always ask 3 questions after every concept. समझ आया, मजा आया, याद आया is what I ask in Hindi to the students. But here I will ask you, did you understood the concept? Did you enjoyed the concept? And did you remember the concept? Here, because this is not going to come in examination, so remembering is not relevant for now. But yes, for all the further sessions, I will always ask you, understood, enjoyed, remembered, and you have to give me answer in this sequence only. Let's say yes, yes, yes. Let's say you understood everything, you enjoyed also, but you are not able to remember with me. Then tell me that, ma'am, please make us do further revisions. We understood everything, that's absolutely clear, but we want to remember also along with you. See, the purpose of the batch is not just to explain you everything, because that though I know. If I only have to explain you everything, trust me, I can wind up entire CA final IDT in 60 to 70 hours. That is all that I need. If not more, at least 25 hours in the batch are dedicated only to the learning part. Only to the learning part. After I explain you each and every concept, I will make sure with any story, mnemonic technique, whatever I have to apply, I also make you learn these things. So yes, in this chapter, remembering is not important because direct question will not come. It is not applicable for exam. So did you understood and did you enjoyed? Sometimes it may happen for procedural chapters that ma'am we understood also, we remembered also, but we did not enjoy because it was procedure. Doesn't matter, you have to tell me yes, no, yes. But I need to know the answer each and every time after each and every concept. Understood, enjoyed and remembered. These 3 things should never be compromised in any lecture further that we are going to take. Perfect, ma'am, got it. So these are the concepts of GST. Chaliye. Tell me, how many states are there in India? Ma'am, you're teaching GST or GK? Both, na? Told na, it's a combo of GST, GK, English, grammar, everything. So the question here is, according to Constitution of India, according to the geography that you have studied in your school, how many states are there in India? Ma'am, if we had studied social science nicely, wouldn't we doing IAS or UPSC, IPS examinations at this point of time and not chartered accountancy? Chalo, a very general question. How many states are there in India? Ma'am, constitutionally, there are 28 states in India today. But according to GST, there are 31 states. How is this possible, ma'am? How is this possible that we have 31 states according to GST? Now, GST is saying that the 28 states according to Constitution that you take. plus 3 union territories, Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry. Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry, can you tell me what is special about these union territories as compared to other union territories? Ma'am, total we have 8 UTs in India, right? In total we have 8 union territories in India, out of which 3 are considered as state for only GST purpose and remaining 5 are Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu and Chandigarh. So these are the remaining 5 union territories. So we total have 8, and from this 8, 3 are considered as state in India and remaining 5 are considered as union territories only. So let us say I make a supply from Ladakh to Ladakh. So C plus SGST will not be charged, C plus UTGST will be charged because it's a union territory. Got it, ma'am? But why government has put 3 union territories particularly in the category of state? We know today that Jammu Kashmir, Delhi and Puducherry are also union territories according to constitution geographically. Why should we consider them as state for GST purpose? Do you know any one distinction between these things? Very good, Srinivas. Ma'am, these 3 union territories particularly have their own legislature. Do we have a chief minister in Delhi? Yes, ma'am. Do we have a chief minister in Jammu Kashmir? Yes, ma'am. But do we have a chief minister in Ladakh, Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep? No, ma'am. Which means these union territories are not having their own legislatures, but these 3 union territories particularly have their own legislatures, which means for GST purpose, we consider them as state only. So the 28 geographical state that we have, those are the states only in GST. And plus 3 union territories, particularly Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry. Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry will also be considered as states in GST, and in totality we have 31 states in GST. And 5 union territories we remember as all city. All city. Which are the 5 union territories in India in GST? Ma'am, all city. A for Andaman and Nicobar. A for Andaman Nicobar, L for Ladakh, Lakshadweep, Chandigarh, D for Dadra Nagar Haveli. See, initially Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu were 2 separate union territories, but now government has merged them both into a single UT only. So Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu is a single union territory now. This is a single union territory now. So we are left with 28 plus 3, 31 union territories, 31 states and all city. Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli, all city, the 5 union territories in GST. Which means if the question says that I supplied goods from Gujarat to Gujarat, which means I know I have to levy C plus SGST. But if the question says that I supplied goods from Chandigarh to Chandigarh, then as I said that they assume you know this. They are saying chapter 1 that I am teaching you is not in the syllabus. But of course in question, if the question says that goods are supplied from Chandigarh to Chandigarh, they will assume that you know it is a union territory. And in answer, you should charge C plus UT GST and not C plus SGST. For this reason, I have to teach you this chapter because they assume that you know this thing. Whereas in reality, we might not know these things. Okay, ma'am. So for GST purpose, only for GST purpose, actually there are 28 states only and 8 union territories. But for GST purpose, we say we have 28 states and plus 3 UTs with legislature, which are Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry, where C plus SGST is being levied. And then all city, which is Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. And what is this other territory? We will discuss this in the chapter of charge of GST. Wait till then. Here we will say that CGST plus UTGST is going to be levied. Say yes, everyone. Is everything absolutely clear? States and UTs in GST. You simply remember all CD. Ma'am, only all CD, 5 things are UT. Other than that, everything is state. To make it very simple for you, ma'am, only all CD, 5 UTs are UT and other than this, everything is state only in GST. Got it? Yes, ma'am. Chal. Now we have some special category states in GST. Ma'am, what are these special category states in GST? See, government has notified some states as special category states. For them, certain provisions differ. Let's say some registration limit would differ for them. Some exemptions extra are provided to them. So there are a lot of things and particular rules and regulations that government make for these particular states which are notified as special category state. Again, ICI will assume that you know which are the special category states. So, of course, they will not directly ask you write the names of special category states, no. But they will assume that you know it. And they can ask any other question based on this concept. So, of course, we need to learn what are the 11 special category states in India. There are total 11 states which are notified as special category states in India. Ma'am, which are these 11 states? To make it very simple for you, I have made a mnemonic. No asthma. No asthma in Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. No asthma in Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. This is a special category state. Nobody gets asthma here. Is how we learn it. Ma'am, no for Nagaland. A for Assam. S for Sikkim. T for Tripura. H for Himachal Pradesh. M for, whenever I say M, you have to shout out Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. M for Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. Come on everyone. M for Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. A for Arunachal Pradesh. Minded, it's not Andhra Pradesh. Huh? Do not dare to call A as Andhra Pradesh. It is Arunachal Pradesh. U for Uttarakhand. And JK is of course Jammu and Kashmir. So we say no asthma. No asthma in Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir are the 11 special category states under GST. Ma'am, what is the relevance? Nothing. You simply learn the names of this 11 special category state. Now further in any chapter, if the reference comes, I will simply tell you. Further, if in any chapter, any reference come with respect to this special category states, I will simply give you reference of A, do you remember? No asthma in Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. Each and every time, we are not going to recall all the 11 special category states. So, in chapter number 1 only, in lecture 1 only, I make students remember all the 11 special category states with me. You have two options. Either in your rough sheet that I have told you to maintain for every lecture, you can scribble along with me. Or you can simply write things in the comment section, but you have to write. Either you write in comment section, see, even if you write this much, Nagaland, it's okay. I do not expect a full spelling from you because I myself do not write full spellings here. So it's okay, even if you write Sikkim, let us say you write Sikkim, that's completely fine. I just need to know that you are active, involved and you are remembering things. Even if you write SIK, Tripura, it is fine for me. I will understand that you have understood. But please do write, interact and communicate with me so that I can identify if you are making any mistakes. Do get the best benefit of the live batch. So the 11 special category states are no asthma. No asthma in Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. Chalo, once everyone with me, are we going to recall the 11 special category states? Yes, ma'am. There is nothing that I have to teach or explain. This is simple. Government has notified 11 states and these are special category. What do I explain in this? At the max, what I can do is I can make you learn these things. Yes, ma'am. So, no for Nagaland. Chalo, with me everyone in the comment section, no for Nagaland. A for Assam. Assam, I request you to write full form. If you write AWS, I don't know. Chaliye. So, Nagaland, Assam. S for Sikkim. T for Tripura. H for Himachal Pradesh. Whenever I say M, you say Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. Come on. M for Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. A for Arunachal Pradesh. U for Uttarakhand. And JK is of course Jammu Kashmir. So these are the 11 special category states in GST. Nagaland, Assam, Sikkim, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. Bolo, got it everyone? Absolutely clear. Yes, ma'am. So with respect to states and UTs, what we have learnt is 28 geographical states are there. Plus Delhi, Jammu Kashmir, Puducherry. Plus Delhi, Jammu Kashmir and Puducherry are the 3 union territories with legislature. And these 31 combined, we call all of them as state only under GST. And then we have all CD. Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. These are the 5 union territories under GST, plus there is some other thing also that we will discuss in the chapter of charge of GST. After this, we saw 11 special category states. 11 special category states in GST. Nagaland, Assam, Sikkim, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir. Bolo, absolutely done, sorted, finished and clear. Yes, ma'am. Now tell me, let's say I supply this calculator today. I am starting new business of calculators. Can any one of you tell me what is the rate of GST applicable on calculator? Chalo. Or let's say, can anyone tell me what is the rate of GST applicable on mobile? What is the rate of GST applicable on calculator, or what is the rate of GST applicable on mobile phone? Anyone tell me. Ma'am, how do we know this? Is there some kind of mechanism where you can find the rates for every goods or service in GST? You guys told 18. From where did you get this answer? Okay, some are saying 1828. I need to know, did you Google it? Did you Google it, that rate of GST for calculator? Very good, Dolly. Government has classified all the goods and services so that we can find our particular goods or service and we can find out the rate applicable. See, for goods, all the goods are categorized into HSN code. Ma'am, what is HSN code? It is Harmonized System of Nomenclature. HSN, Harmonized System of Nomenclature, which means all the goods which are there are categorized, are given some numbers. Now this HSN code is an 8-digit code. How is this code made? See, let us understand. What are you studying, ma'am? CA. Particularly, ma'am, CA final. In CA final group 2. In group 2 paper number 5, which is IDT. So what they do is, we have chapter, then we have sections, then we have subsections, and then we have the final tariff item. So which means all CA students will be categorized into, let's say, code number 80. Then for CA final we have 8048. Let's say group 2 804871. Then for IDT we have 80487192. So this is the HSN code. And for each and every HSN code, government gives a rate of tax. HSN code is for goods. For services, we have scheme of classification of service. For services, we have scheme of classification of service. So you can simply go to the HSN code, or you can simply go to the scheme of classification of service. Find out the HSN code or scheme classification number for your relevant goods or service, and for each and every HSN code, government has given a rate of GST. Scheme of classification of service for services, SAC as we call it, and goods, HSN code. Chalo, let us find out something. Let's say I am searching HSN for calculator here. Let's say calculator HSN code I am searching. Okay. See, so we come at the HSN code for calculator in India. You can find it from a lot of sources. Let's simply say, why is the network going so slow? Okay. So I searched HSN code for calculator. See, here we have 8470. 8470 is a normal code for all the calculating machines. Then in it, I go into details and I find out that 8470100. Now it could be possible that we have separate HSN code for normal calculator, financial calculator, scientific calculator. So you go into detail, find out the HSN code for your goods and services, and then for each and every HSN code, government also gives the rate of GST. So let us say, so here I search HSN code and GST rate for calculator and see, do we get the same HSN code 847010, and here we say that the rate of GST is 18%. Of course, you can find all the HSN codes on GST portal. I am directly searching it on Google, but I will take you to the GST portal, of course, when we proceed further, and I will explain you all the tabs that are there on the GST portal, and there you have this HSN code finder. So for your goods services, you can go to the portal, find out the HSN code, and then for each and every HSN code, government has given the rate of GST. So yes, the rate of GST on calculator is 18%. How do I find it out? I first search the HSN code for my product and then the GST applicable for each and every HSN code government has specified. Same thing applies to services. For services, we have scheme of classification of services. So this is how we determine the rates of GST. See, understand, if I need to arrive at the GST value, I need two things. One is value and one is rate of tax. So let us say my goods are worth 1000 rupees and the rate of tax applicable is 18%. Welcome. Here I arrive at the GST value, which is 180 rupees. So to arrive at the GST figure, I need only two things, value and rate of tax. Now rate of tax we absolutely have no problem. Why? Because rate of tax the government has only given. No, for goods we have HSN code and for services we have scheme of classification of services. So there is no problem at all with respect to rate. Whatever is my goods or service, I can go to the finder, I can find the code, I will find the rate. For value, of course, we are going to study a chapter named as value of supply, and under section 15, we understand how to arrive at the value, and then value into rate, we arrive at the GST figure. So absolutely, there is no problem in classifying the goods because government has done it for us. So for HSN code, we use, for goods we use HSN code, and for services, we use scheme of classification of services, and this is how you decide that what should be the rate applicable on your particular supply. Hello Gaurav. Thank you. We have previous batch students coming here in the live stream on YouTube thanking that they enjoyed the class, and that's the great feeling. Chalo, tell me guys, understood everything till here? I have not taught you anything great till now. It is just introduction and basics that we are proceeding with. What is tax, direct tax, indirect tax, dual GST, genesis of GST, concept of GST, states and union territories, special category states in GST, and classification under GST. Done, ma'am. Then we talk about what are the taxes which are subsumed in GST. Ma'am, since beginning you've been saying one nation, one tax, one nation, one tax, one nation, one tax. Then what were the earlier taxes which got subsumed in GST? So there were a lot of central taxes like excise, service tax, countervailing duties, special countervailing duties, central sales tax, some other surcharges and cesses that were levied on supply of goods services. Then going to state taxes, we had luxury tax, taxes on lottery, betting, gambling, purchase, VAT, advertisement tax, entertainment tax. So this is not much important because we understand that all the taxes as such are subsumed only in GST. So taxes subsumed is not that relevant, but taxes not subsumed is kind of interesting. That normally we know that all the taxes, all the earlier indirect taxes that used to exist are subsumed in GST. But there are some taxes which are not subsumed in GST, and let's discuss about them. So first amongst them is the alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Can you tell me one other use of alcoholic liquor other than human consumption? That ma'am, to manufacture this thing also alcohol is used, which is not for consumption purpose. Give me an example of one or two things that you can think of in which alcohol is used but it is not for consumption purpose. For some other industrial purpose, give me an example where alcohol is used. I can give you one example, face toners. So these face toners that we use are alcohol based. Sanitizer, the most common answer that I get from students is, ma'am, sanitizer, some medicines, etc. Yes. So if the alcohol is used for these industrial purposes, let's say you are manufacturing makeup, face toners or sanitizers or some other industrial usage, then that type of alcohol becomes taxable under GST. We are particularly talking only and only about the alcohol. We are talking about only and only the alcohol which is for human consumption. If that alcohol is being supplied, GST is not applicable on it. But why, ma'am? This is a major source of revenue for government. So much of alcohol being consumed on daily basis in India. How can we not levy GST on it? What is government doing? Government exactly knows what is it doing. See, understand, whatever taxes are being levied on alcohols, whatever taxes are being levied on alcohol, the manufacture of alcohol excise, all the revenue goes to state. So, state excises are levied on alcohols. Now, in this case, already the rate of excise and VAT that is being charged on alcohol is extremely high. But when government came up with GST, they were thinking to keep maximum GST rate as 28% practically today. Now in that case, of course, the states were not happy and ready to accept implementation of GST because they knew that they are going to lose upon a lot of revenue that they are already earning from the sale of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So to give them a chocolate, government said that okay, we agree to levy GST on all goods services except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. No problem. In the charging section, in the bare act itself that we are going to study further in some next classes, in the charging section, in the bare act only it is written that GST can be levied on all goods services except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So, the power to tax such alcoholic liquor still remains with the states only. So, on the manufacturing, you levy state excise, and on the sales, if intrastate VAT and interstate CST. Now, did you understand why I taught you the Ankit story? That was not irrelevant because ma'am, all the taxes are subsumed. We study GST. Why to waste 15-20 minutes behind that story understanding the earlier taxes? For this reason. Because those taxes are still continuing. Yes, Jen. So we are saying that alcoholic liquor for human consumption is outside the purview of GST. GST was not levied on alcohol. GST is not levied on alcohol, and GST will not be levied on alcohol relying on the current law position. Of course, law can be amended anytime. In future, government thinks to levy GST on alcohol, they may by amending the law. But going by the present situation of the law, the present provisions of the law, we say that no GST will be applicable on alcoholic liquor for human consumption, because in the charging section, in the levy, in the bare act only it is written that we will levy taxes GST on all goods services, but not on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. You understand the reason why? Yes, because states would not be ready to implement GST because they would lose on such a big portion of revenue that they are already earning from alcohol. So to keep them happy, government said, okay, no problem, you continue earning those high taxes from alcohol people. Got it, ma'am. Then we say, you go and take a nap. We talk about 5 petroleum products. We say, you go and take a nap. Why nap? You can go and sleep for some time. We are not levying GST on you today, but we are waiting for government to come up with a notification on recommendation of GST Council to start levying GST on these products. Till then, you can go and take a nap. Ma'am, what is this? You can go and take a nap. H is high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel and petroleum crude. High speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel and petroleum crude. These 5 petroleum products, we say, you go and take a nap. Which means today presently GST is not levied on you. But from a future date, from a future date, we are going to levy GST on you. So till that, meantime, whenever we start levying GST, till that period, what we are going to levy? Excise on manufacturing and intrastate supplies VAT, interstate supplies CST. What is the difference between alcohol and HNAP? HNAP, it is not outside the purview of GST. It is temporarily kept out. We are waiting for a date when government will notify on council's recommendation to start levying GST. But the difference here is in direct only it is written that GST will not be levied on alcohol only. So we are not even waiting for government to start implementing GST on alcohol. It is outside only. This is permanently outside till the law is amended, and it is temporarily outside till the government comes up with notification to start levying GST on these 5 petroleum products. Did you understand? Say yes or no. Also give me full form of HNAP in the comment section once, everyone. What are the 5 petroleum products? What are the 5 petroleum products on which GST is not applicable today but will be applicable from a future date? Ma'am, we are saying, you go and take a nap. You go and take a nap. High speed diesel, motor spirit, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, we call it as ATF, aviation turbine fuel and petroleum crude. So these 5 products, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, petroleum crude, these 5 products GST not applicable today, but we are waiting for government to notify on recommendation of council in future from where GST will be applicable. And alcohol, it is not applicable only, and we are not even waiting for any notification because it is kept outside the purview of GST only. Now only we have these 2 things which are non-taxable, completely non-taxable, on which GST is not levied only. But then talking about tobacco and drugs, narcotics, opium, Indian hemp, we are saying that GST we have started to implement on the supply, but we have also not discontinued excise. Now these are not good things, no? Tobacco, drugs, narcotics are not good things, of course. So why should we levy less taxes on them? So here we are saying that on tobacco and narcotics, we want to still continue levying excise on the manufacturing, and now on sales we are not going to levy VAT or CST, but we will start to levy GST. Simple. Talking about entertainment taxes, now see here. All the entertainment taxes are subsumed in GST. All the kinds of entertainment taxes are subsumed in GST except for any entertainment tax levied by local body. If there is any local body, local as in the municipal bodies, the local bodies that levy entertainment taxes from you, the power to levy entertainment taxes by local body still remains with the local body. Other than that, if there is any entertainment tax, then that is subsumed in GST. So we say all kinds of entertainment taxes are subsumed in GST except for the entertainment tax that is levied by local body. The entertainment tax levied by local body, the power still remains with local body and it can continue to levy entertainment tax. And the last item outside GST is real estate sector. If you are selling or purchasing immovable properties, then stamp duties, property taxes, etc. are being levied and no GST is being levied. Ma'am, doubt. What happened, bacha? Ma'am, I recently purchased a property. Let's say my father purchased, my mother purchased a house, a commercial property, and we paid GST. The builder charged GST from us. Now, why did the builder charge GST from you? on sale of immovable property. That we will keep in suspense, and that suspense will open in the chapter of supply. See, I'll give you a hint. If the land or building is completed, if the land building is completed, then the supply of such completed land buildings are outside the purview of GST, stamp duties, property taxes, etc. and done. But if the property is in under construction stage, and at that point of time if you purchase those properties, then GST will be applicable. Why? Because the property is not yet property only, it is not yet ready only. Then how can you sell something which is not ready? In that case, we say actually what we are selling is construction service and not the property. But when the property is constructed, built, done and ready, then we are saying that yes, we are selling this immovable property which is outside the purview of GST. So real estate sector, no GST. Entertainment tax, all entertainment taxes subsumed in GST, but only the entertainment tax which are levied by local bodies, the power still remains with the local body. Then we talk about alcoholic liquor for human consumption, high-speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, petroleum crude, tobacco and narcotics, Indian hemps, drugs, etc. These two things are outside GST only, means no GST applicable only. So I will say excise on manufacturing and VAT or CST depending upon inter or intra on sales. Here also I will say excise plus if intra then VAT, and if inter then CST. On tobacco we say that we have started to levy GST, tobacco, narcotics both, but we have not even discontinued excise. Now the only last thing remaining is, ma'am, where central excise and where state excise? Simply remember a trick. Intoxicating things, nashe wali cheeze, things that keep you high. Intoxicating things, nashe wali cheeze, things that keep you high, alcohol and drugs. You levy state excise. And remaining petrol, tobacco, which do not intoxicate you, actually these things are not keeping you high, okay, they do not provide nasha. So here we say it is central excise. But ma'am, we normally open the petrol tank and do nasha. Now that's what you do. It is not actually meant for such purpose. So here we say that petrol and tobacco are central excise plus VAT and or GST, whatever applicable, but alcohol and drugs are state excise. So we simply remember it as nasha. Now what is nasha? Intoxication, I believe. Yes. So intoxicating things, state excise. Remaining things, central excise. Only these two things, no GST, which means VAT, CST. But these two things plus excise, you also have GST. Say yes or yes, everyone. Understood, enjoyed, remembered, with me, done and sorted. Chalo quickly. Taxes subsumed, to all taxes are subsumed only. What is there to study? Taxes not subsumed is a good point. So alcoholic liquor for human consumption, state excise, VAT, CST. HNAP, central excise, VAT, CST. Entertainment tax, local body, power still remains with local body. Other entertainment taxes subsumed. Tobacco, central excise and GST. Opium, Indian hemp, narcotics, drugs, state excise and GST. And real estate sector, completed land building, immovable property outside GST, and incomplete, they are actually construction services. We'll study more on it when we go to the chapter of supply under GST. Done. We keep the class till here only today. The remaining portion of the chapter we'll complete tomorrow in the next class. As it is just our first class today, let's not keep it very heavy. Today we did nothing as such. We only understood the basics, the foundation, the concept of GST, how it is a value-added tax, the story of how and why did GST actually come into picture, what were the earlier taxes, the problems that we used to face in the earlier taxes, what are states, union territories, special category states, all of these things, which are not much relevant for examination point of view. But yes, being CA, CMA final students, we expect and we assume that you already know these things and you should actually know these things. Did you all enjoy the class? Yes, ma'am. There is no option of no. You have to. No, but if you have any feedback, genuinely, you can always connect with me. I am there available in the batch specific Telegram group. If you want to talk personally something with me, I have shared my number with you. You can DM me and just drop me a message in the batch specific group that, ma'am, I have DM'd you. Then I will get back to you. Because out of all the 500, 600 messages daily, it is not possible for me to be promptly available for you at the DM. Yes, ma'am. How many of you know Hindi? Just being curious. How many of you understand slight Hindi? Because no matter how much hard I try, sometimes one or two Hindi words come out because I am not accustomed to speak English on a daily basis. No, it is only for English class that I have to speak English. So sometimes my accent could also be a problem for you. If at any point of time you feel that, ma'am, your English is going little slow for us, little fast for us, accent is not that suitable, anything you can friendly tell me. I am always open for feedbacks. Whatever I have grown, whatever I have evolved out of my 5 earlier batches, it is all with the feedback of students only. So yes. Hey, wow, so many of you understand Hindi. Almost all. Okay, then that's great. Nahi malum, ma'am, is what you're writing in Hindi, huh, Vinay? Great. Chaliye, so that's not a problem, I guess. More than 60-70% of you understand slight Hindi. So yes, even if 1 or 2 words I speak, sometimes it's absolutely fine, I believe. Done. Then it's going to be fun with all of you. Chaliye. Now tomorrow's class and day after tomorrow's class will also be on YouTube. The link will be shared with you in the Telegram channel only. Same time, we will connect at 7:30 p.m. First 10 classes we have in evening, and after that we will shift to the morning time. All of these things already I have told you. I believe some of you would have received the books already. Some of you who have not received, no problem, because maximum by tomorrow all the books are going to be dispatched. So in next 6-7 days the books will reach your home. I also got my book today only. I don't have the book right now with me, otherwise I would have shown you. This is the best book I have made till date, trust me. Version 5 is the best book out of all versions. I have given almost in total till today, starting from version 1, more than 800-900 hours on this book because it is handwritten. Each and every time I change some chapters, I rewrite them, I redraft things, I include all the amendments by handwriting them. And this time, May 2025, there are so many amendments. Like out of 385 pages in the book, there are amendments in almost 100 pages. I'm not bluffing, I'm not exaggerating. Yes, there are some small amendments here and there. So all of those things I had to rewrite, I redrafted things, and trust me, you are going to enjoy learning with the book. You're going to fall in love with the book. That confidence I have. Done, chaliye then. See you all tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Make sure to connect with the team. If you have not received mail, if you have not received the serial key, if you have not received anything, please connect with the team. Do not call me. I have shared the